Hey everyone, I'm Luis, full-time videographer and photographer. I often get asked, how do you film your videos to get that cinematic look? Today, I'm diving deep into the process and breaking down the basics behind creating a cinematic story. The core components: structure, character, and development. Structure is how your story is built. Character is the emotion and personality that drives the narrative. And the development is the evolution of the story from the beginning to the end. When you nail these three, you've got the blueprint for a powerful video. I remember when I first started, I underestimated the importance of a clear structure. Once I began planning these components in mind, my videos became more engaging and visually dynamic. Finding your story. One of the toughest parts is coming up with a story. I'll be honest, I overthink and I stress about whether everything will make sense. But what helps me is just a simple habit. I always carry my phone or a notebook to jot down ideas as they come. Throughout the day, little moments or phrases pop up in my head. And by the end of the week, I have enough snippets to build a compelling story. Sometimes, the ideas you think aren't interesting are exactly what resonates with others. Don't worry about perfection. Trust your intuition, take that risk, and let your creativity flow, turning your story into a visual experience. Once you have your story, the next step is turning it into a visual experience. I like to map out every angle by writing down or sketching those ideas. This process helps ensure that I don't miss any critical moment. I make sure to mix camera angle strategically, starting with a wide shot to introduce that scene, moving into a medium shot to focus on the subject, and finally using a close-up. This approach guides the viewer's attention from the big picture to the intimate details of the story, filming techniques, and camera angles. The way you move your camera and switch angles can dramatically affect your storytelling. For example, a static wide shot establishes your scene, but sometimes adding a subtle movement, like a slow push-in, builds intimacy and draws the viewers into that moment. Experiment with different techniques, such as tracking shots, pans, or even a fly-on-the-wall perspective. This creative approach not only keeps your video dynamic, but also offers a more immersive experience. Mastering lighting and the cinematic triangle. Lighting is absolutely everything. It can turn your ordinary shot into something cinematic. I currently use a key light by Amaran, specifically the 200X with a huge softbox, and I position it in a 45-degree angle. This not only illuminates my face, but it also creates natural shadows on the other side for a dramatic effect. We call this setup part of the cinematic triangle, where the key light, fill light, and background lights work together to shape the mood of a scene. Now, if you don't have a fog machine to create texture, a mist filter can add soft highlight bloom, and practical background lights help clarify where your main light is coming from. The editing process, from raw footage to cinematic story. Now, let's move to one of my favorite parts, which is editing. This is where my raw footage truly comes to life. Start by importing all your footage into your editing software. I personally use Premiere Pro, though there are many great options available. Organize your clips and begin cutting them together so that each shot flows naturally into the next. One crucial element is syncing your cuts to the rhythm of your music. Music sets the pace, tone, and emotions, so make sure to adjust your clips to match the beat, and don't be afraid to experiment with transitions. Once the rough cut is complete, record your narration. I know it can be intimidating at first, but practice makes perfect. Now, with your narrative in place, dive into color grading. The process of color grading transforms lifeless footage into vibrant visuals. It's important that your lighting, ISO, and picture profile are all synced together. In my case, I shoot in low ISO, using PP8, or also known as S-Log3, for the best results. Advanced techniques and personal tips. For those looking to elevate their work even further, here are some advanced techniques and personal tips that I swear by. Now, these aren't necessary, but using gimbals and stabilizers can add a professional touch by ensuring smooth camera movement. Try experimenting with slow motion to emphasize emotion and add drama to your key moments. And don't overlook sound design. Now, I also always back up my footage multiple times and keep a folder for my good takes so that I always have plenty of options during my editing. Every experiment, whether it works or not, is a learning opportunity that helps you develop your unique style. Finishing touches and thumbnail creation. Before wrapping up your project, there's one more key element: the thumbnail. A great thumbnail is your video's first impression. I set up a specific scene, adjust my lighting, compose the shot carefully, and capture that perfect still image. Make sure your thumbnail reflects the tone and content because a little extra effort here can make a big difference in attracting viewers. Alright, so now that that's a comprehensive look at how I film and edit my YouTube video, from the initial idea all the way to the final thumbnail, I hope these tips and techniques help you on your creative journey. Remember, every filmmaker starts somewhere, and it's all about practice and persistence. If you stayed with me until now, thank you for diving deep into the process. It truly means a lot to have a dedicated audience that truly cares about the craft. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and leave a comment with your questions or ideas for future videos. Every video is a learning experience, and I'd love to hear from your thoughts and experiences. I'm Luis. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, keep filming and stay creative.